Welcome to the second quarter quarterly meeting. We have a very exciting program for you today, and I think some really exciting news for you. We're going to review the results for the second quarter, which is the months of May, June, and July, and I think we have some very exciting statistics for you. This is one of the best performances we as a company have had in a long time, and that's due to a great team effort from the stores, the corporate office, the merchants, people in marketing. Really everyone in our company pitched in to make this a really great quarter. So I think you'll be really pleased with what you have to hear today. We have some information about the second half of the year, which I think will be very positive, and we're very encouraged. I feel really good about what's ahead of us, and I think you'll be really pleased to hear it as well. So enjoy the tape, and we look forward to seeing our store managers and Chairman's Club winners here in San Francisco in mid-September. So good luck, and we'll see you soon. I'd like to talk a little bit about the second quarter, and reminds me of our theme last year for the store managers meeting, and that theme was "We Deliver." And when I look back at the results of the second quarter, for the first time I can say that this group as a team finally delivered, and we achieved our earnings plan for the first time in a while, and I think that's a great outcome and a great result of this team, and I think you all deserve a round of applause. There were a lot of highlights in that. We had in the stores a 7.1% comp store increase, which was the largest quarterly increase that we've had in about 12 quarters in a row. That's pretty darn impressive. That's great to see. We had in the catalog area, in the home division, we had a 60% increase in the quarter. In the SHRP image catalog, we had a 22% increase in sales in the quarter. In the internet, our shining light, we've had over 200% increase. So a lot of really great success stories. Our total sales for the quarter as a company grew by 14%. And that is just fabulous, that we met our earnings target and we grew the top line all at the same time. So that's quite encouraging. And that's obviously a trend we want to keep going. Looking ahead, and one of the things that we think has helped get us to that success of the last quarter is that we have been really executing moving the merchandise assortment to include a lot more proprietary products. And Richard's going to talk to you more about that in a second, but that has been just fabulous for us, taking our business from 8% last year to roughly around 20% of our sales are in proprietary products. Why is that a good thing? It makes our store offer something that no other store can have. These are things that are designed by us, manufactured by us, and only sold by us. And that makes customers recognize that we're the destination, we're the only place that they can shop to get those things. So it differentiates us, it gives us margin and profit opportunities, and it's really been reshaping the way we do business and making us more successful than we've ever been. We've had the largest jump in year-to-year margin, I think, in our company's history. And that is a very good sign to see our profit margins jump. So that's very positive omen for the future. We have coming in this fall season a new store design, and Ralph's going to tell you more about that, but it's going to revolutionize the way we look, hopefully. It'll be a huge success, and it'll be a next step forward for us as a company. So that's exciting news for the months ahead. Tony's going to talk to you a little bit more about our mission statement and define for you a little bit closely who we are and what we're about. And I think Davi is going to talk to you a little bit about some of the successes we've had in our advertising campaigns over the last quarter, which obviously had an impact on this successful sales achievement. So I think we got a lot to talk to you about today. A lot of it's good news, and I think a lot of the forward-looking information you're going to get is going to be equally as exciting.
I just want to take a second to share my excitement. I have really no important message, but I do have some important enthusiasm because we are introducing in our September mailing, which goes out in a few days, a product that I think is one of the most important products we've ever sold in our history. And so I just wanted to sort of tell you about it because I'm just so excited about it. Before I do that, though, let me give you two small things that are not so important but will help the bottom line. These batteries, which say Sharp Image batteries, are $250,000 batteries. Why? Because by beginning to introduce our own branded product in the regular batteries, the AA and AAA, and a few other sizes, we will save about $200,000 or $300,000 a year in costs that we're now paying to sell other people's brands. We've had these tested by independent laboratories, and they're designed to perform plus or minus 5% of other premium alkaline batteries, like Maxell or Eveready. So we feel we can offer our customers a battery that's very similar to other batteries on the market, except we'll finally get some decent costs on the product, and they'll carry our brand name home instead of carrying somebody else's brand name. And quite frankly, a lot of the batteries we use in our stores are used to demonstrate our own products anyway. So if we're going to just put batteries in and then throw them away in a few weeks, we may as well throw away our own name as somebody else's name, right? Here's a product that's a lot of fun. This is not the one I'm so excited about, but it's going to be a nice solid product for us. This is a really nicely designed sort of Danish modern look telephone. Very well made, nice quality phone, great sound quality, but now it has the TrueSeeker technology built into the phone. So you can listen to yourself or your child telling you they're really at the mall and they'll be home by 10 o'clock. You can listen to them tell you that fib, and if the lights go over into the red, you might wonder if they're really at the mall. It has a new feature, and this is why we call this Truth Quest. The new products are called Truth Quest now instead of TrueSeeker, because Truth Quest technology is designed so that when it goes into the red for more than a millisecond, at the far end of the red, it gives you a double flash of red so that it gets your attention. You don't have to watch it quite so closely. You'll just see the double flash of red out of the corner of your eye. So now when that, I won't give you any more examples of how to use it. You'll figure it out. This is perhaps the most important product I think we've ever introduced. This product sells for $200. It is an air filter. It works like a lot of other air filters. It cleans the air. It cleans the air as well as, for example, a $400 Honeywell HEPA filtration unit. But how is it different? Well, the most important difference is there's not a single moving part in this product. You know, in the history of air filters, no one has ever been able to move air without a fan. There have been other air cleaning products. They've often been called ionizers. They use static electricity or static precipitation to pull particles out of the air. But that doesn't move any air. That just cleans the air. So how do you get the air to where it can be cleaned? Well, you put a fan behind it, and that's what everybody does. And if they don't want to use ionic precipitation, if they don't want to use that static electric charge, they can use filters like paper filters. That's what Honeywell does, or charcoal filters. The only trouble with that is you got to change the filters. You got to buy new filters. To change the filters on a $400 Honeywell unit costs you almost $200 every year. Well, so what happened was about 3 years ago, Chuck Taylor, who heads our Sharp Image Design Group, was contacted, or he contacted an inventor who had a patent on a process called xenon technology. Xenon technology was a new invention. It moves air with no moving parts. It's a miracle. Air actually goes through this unit. It is propelled through the room 3 times every hour. It'll clean all the air in an average-sized room, and it'll do it with the same wattage as a nightlight, about 15 watts. What does a Honeywell use? About 500 to 600 watts. Not to pick on Honeywell, but pick any air filter. Anything with a fan is like running a 400 to 600 watt light bulb. This is like running a 15 watt light bulb. So it's designed to stay on 24 hours a day. And because there are no moving parts, you get one benefit that never existed before in history. It is totally dead silent. There is not a single peep coming out of this machine. Now you can put it right next to you while you're sleeping and have total silence. You can clean allergens, smog, smoke, pollen, whatever it is you want to clean, you can clean it, and you can do it in total silence. And it has one other benefit that no other air filter has. Because of the process it uses to scrub the air, it also eliminates odors. That's just the way it works. It neutralizes odors. So if you've got cooking odors, bathroom odors, paint fumes, you name it, it will take those odors out. So now you've got a product that costs no more. In fact, it sometimes costs less than a lot of air filters on the market, has no sound, which no competitive unit has, eliminates odors, and has zero cost of replacing filters, and will operate for pennies a month. It's a fantastic product, and only one company in the entire world has this product, and that's us. Why do we have it? Because we exclusively licensed the patent, and because one individual spent about 2 years of his life trying to get this darn thing to work. It was a long, long, arduous journey. We are introducing it this month, September 5th, and so I'm going to ask our engineer, who works so diligently in this project, to stand up, and that is SF Lau. If you would stand up, please. Thank you. This product is probably going to be one of the top 1, 2, or 3 profit-producing items in our company. It is something we could be so proud of. And if you just wonder mechanically how it works, I'll show you real quick. You pull this little rod out here, take these stainless steel collector rods, wipe them off. You could do it very easily with a duster like this, or you could put it in your sink and just use a sponge, whichever you prefer. They only go in the unit one way. If any of you are involved with the stores and you get any complaints that the unit is not totally silent, you tell them take the same cleaning wand, stick it inside the unit, and knock any dust or pollen off that's been collecting. Because if you let that dust collect forever, eventually you'll get a slight noise because the unit needs to be cleaned. So that's a replacement for $200 worth of filters once a year. The unit is totally permanent. There are no filters. There is only this unit to take apart and clean approximately every 2 weeks. It will only go in the right way. It will not go in the wrong way. And it shuts the unit off when you pull this out. What a beautiful product. I mean, this is just an incredible breakthrough in technology and for us in sales and profits. So I'm really pleased this is on the cover of the catalog. It's mailing in about 7 days, and we should see some really enthusiastic sales from that. So that's my report. I'm really pleased this month.
Tony Farrell, very glad to be here. When we were doing the new store design, I was asked to take a look at a sign that was being posted behind the cash wrap, and it was going to be our mission statement, and there was like a draft that had been written by I'm not sure who. And I was asked to take a look at it. I don't think it would have been first on my agenda of things to do, that is look at the mission statement of a company I just joined, but I did. And we ended up with a new mission statement. This is the old mission statement that's up there right now. And I'm going to talk about that a little bit and about how we evolved in the new mission statement. And then I want to talk a little bit about how I think about what I'm doing from a creative point of view in terms of marketing the company. This statement, if you can read it, just says the sharper image, it's the older mission statement. The sharper image will be the leader in introducing products that provide quality, innovation, and entertainment. Now, I think that statement maybe is as good as far as it goes, but I think it's missing a little something. It's missing, I think, any kind of active verb. It's missing some level of enthusiasm, and I think it really fails to capture what I perceive to be the essence of what the sharper image is all about. So if you can go to the second overhead there. By coincidence, just yesterday, I came across the November 1996 catalog, the big brand new catalog that Goodby Berlin had created for us. And there was an introduction there written by Richard that surprised me because of what it said. It first said, my passion for discovering great products hasn't changed one bit. And then also, most importantly, the sharper image should be fun. That's why I started this business in the first place. Well, that made me very pleased because the fact is the new mission statement, which is on the third slide here, actually uses the same language, and I think it uses that language because it is really the essence of the truth. You know, the mission should be the tightest distillation, a statement that describes what it is you're doing and why you're doing it. So this statement says, our mission is to share the fun of discovering innovative products that make life easier and more enjoyable. And I think every word is important. One is sharing. I mean, it starts with Richard. It's his enthusiasm. I mean, we're all here because of him. He's the visionary, but it isn't for its own private sake. There's an element of sharing that is, in fact, what we are. We're 85 stores, and we're a big catalog that we mail millions of. Fun. Fun is absolutely the key word. You know, it's been called, we've been called maybe boyish or childish, or I prefer to think of it as more of like, you know, youthful exuberance. I mean, I think there's a quality to how we feel about products that is really basically captured in the word fun. Discovering means that basically you're seeing this product, the customer is seeing the product for the first time. That's the essence of discovery. It's something new. It's not seen elsewhere. It hasn't been seen elsewhere. The fun is in seeing something that's brand new. That's something that starts with, I have a little 2-year-old, and it starts earlier than that, and hopefully it never ends. Innovative. We actually like technology. We like things. We love stuff. I mean, I did a little bit of work for Pete's Coffee, and after a day, I was like really dying because that was it. I had beans to talk about, nothing else, you know. But we love innovative products. One phrase we used to describe this was that we were a celebration of human ingenuity. Just the sheer effort to achieve something often results in something that's quite exciting to see. And then making life easier and more enjoyable. These products have to do something, and I'll get to that on the next slide, but basically, the products either make life easier, like a fog-free mirror, or more enjoyable, something that just is pure fun, a toy or a collectible, or just something that's fun to give as a gift. So that really is, I believe, the Sharper Image mission in a nutshell. It rolled off everybody's tongue very fastly. It rolled into the press release that we just did very easily. I think these are words that ring pretty true to what we're doing. So on the last slide, it's a summary of sort of the way I like to think about things when I think of marketing and merchandising and creative. And we are a merchandising company, and the way I think of that is that we're a great specialty store, and every great specialty store, it has a great merchant visionary behind it. Our merchant visionary is Richard. I mean, we're lucky in the sense that he's still here and thinking about the business every day. Some companies don't have an individual. It's the merchandising becomes the vision. But basically, Richard is the merchant visionary. And the role of the merchant, you can think of it, it's sort of like being the movie's director or the chef owner of a restaurant or an editor of a magazine or a novel's author. It's a person who guides the entire enterprise so that it begins to make sense. And the key thing is that a vision is a product of imagination. It was created. It did not exist before. It's something new in the world. And a merchant takes what would otherwise be just a collection of stuff, collection of items, and this vision creates a place where the customer actually wants to be. And in that place, the customer actually wants to own all this merchandise. So it's, in fact, creating this vision, it's a blend of art and science, business science, but it's almost all art. There's some sort of black art to creating a coherent merchandise statement that, and we have it here at the Sharper Image. It's passionate. It's personally passionate. A merchant is maybe passionate for something, or it could be passionate against something. I worked for Don Fisher, who founded The Gap. He was, I think, more passionate against disorderly stores than he was passionate for an orderly store, but essentially he was driven. I think Chuck Williams, who created the catalog for cooks, he was probably as passionate against lousy frying pans that handles were loose all the time as he was for a great French omelet pan. But I think we're mostly a passion for. We have a very positive and enthusiastic orientation for things. And great merchandising has the power of emotion, and customers can be made passionate too. The assortment and what we sell is it is eclectic, it's dynamic, but it's coherent as well. And what makes it coherent is sort of a consistent taste level and attitude and emotion, product quality, the value, the fashion, the positioning against competition, and certainly all the creative elements that come into play. And it's photography and art direction and copy and signage and visual display. That all provides a glue that creates a world that people want to actually walk into and be a part of. If all the creative elements are coherent, that is internally consistent with the merchant's vision, the customer will act as though it's real. Best example of that was like a Banana Republic where I worked for in the '82. The vision should be meaningful and real. Meaningful to the customer in the sense that it triggers emotion and then action and ultimately loyalty. And it should be meaningful by adding pleasure or removing pain or solving problems. I don't know how else to get anything sold. And it should be meaningful against alternatives in the marketplace, clearly distinct from competitors in some meaningful way, of which really SHRP image design is really the purest statement. And finally, I'm often asked, like, who is the customer, this customer that wants to go into this place? Well, to be honest, I think it's anyone who could be made to share this enthusiasm. I mean, mostly it's an adult, a grown-up. I mean, it could be a kid. My nephews who are 12 are more excited about me being here than anybody else I've run across. And that's just great. I don't think that's, quote-unquote, off target. But yeah, mostly it's sort of reasonably affluent people, not too young and not too old, but it's absolutely equally men and women, and who have this, I would say, pure, unabashed, genuine enthusiasm for the innovative products that we sell. So that's hopefully what I'm able to achieve as we address all the elements that market our merchandise, and certainly glad to be here and proud to be here. Thanks.
As most of you know, I'm Ralph Odom. I came to the SHRP Image, as Barry pointed out, from Guess Incorporated, which is a company based in Los Angeles and New York. I was the director of stores there. While I was there, I was contacted by the SHRP Image about the store's position here. It was very exciting to me to think about the opportunity of coming to such a highly recognized company with such a strong brand. Once I arrived, Barry absolutely wasted no time giving me a list of priorities. And it was a long list. Two of my main areas of emphasis are stores and real estate. It's pretty thrilling to realize one of your areas of responsibility will be to grow what is already a strong organization into both a larger and stronger organization. Already this year, we plan to open 6 new stores, renovate 4 stores, relocate 1 store, and open 4 holiday stores. And we're going to do all this before Christmas, which is pretty big. This leads me to our new store design. I'm very proud of the new store design and find it particularly exciting that we are going to renovate 4 stores to the new design this year. Renovating these stores is so important as this will give us a solid and real barometer to measure the effectiveness of the design. Now, what I'm showing you today are architect's renderings. There are transparencies of those, so there's some shadows that aren't so great. But this will give you a little preview. This is the new storefront. It's quite a change, but we feel that it's a fresh look for our company. If you go to the next slide. You'll notice the banners behind me, and these are some other pieces of art. These banners really represent the core of our new merchandising philosophy. Our stores, as we speak, are being merchandised into zones, and these zones represent lifestyle. We basically have 5 zones. We have Feel Good, which is to my left. We have Getaway, which is directly behind me. We have Home, which is to my right. And then we have Work and Play, which we don't have for you, unfortunately, today. But these banners will have metal letters similar to those right there on a rod that spell the lifestyle. And I think all of those, feel good, home, play, getaway, tie right into the mission statement that Tony just presented to you. The lifestyle banners will be merchandised right there on the wall, and around it right here will be the product that it relates to. This is our work banner that I have the laser on, and this is all the work product. Over here is the palm trees, which is the getaway, and around it is all the getaway product. So it really, really ties the product to the lifestyle, makes it clear what we're trying to do. Now, our feelings here are that this approach in merchandising will make our stores easier to shop, produce upsells, and increase multiple selling. Last, I'll show you an overview of the design. Okay. There are 3 points I'd just like to point out to you without going into a lot of detail. This right here, this feature presentation column, is very, very important to this store design and to the future of our company. This is where our TSI design merchandise will be presented. Towards the front of the store, and it will be the highest fixture in the store, and it will have the logo all the way around it here. I think it's important that it's forward, because TSI design is our future. Back here is the cash wrap, and you can see these round discs. This right now is being called the 20 years of discovery wall. And what we'll do is we will have product showing on this back wall that was discovered at the SHRP Image. So we're going to celebrate our history in our new store design as well. Then, from a store's point of view, all the fixtures on this floor are completely modular, and they're all compatible. That will make it much easier to re-merchandise our stores, and it will make it faster, which will put us in a situation that our people will have more time to sell. This is only a glimpse. Believe me, there's a lot more to it. Our first new store opens October 1st in Orlando, Florida. I think this is going to be a huge success, and I think it's really going to keep us focused on our mission, and certainly, as I pointed out, focused on TSI design. So I think we can all make it a success together. Thanks.
What I'm going to talk about for a few minutes today, and I have a few things to show you, is how we took what was certainly a great product and, as a company, made it a better product through a variety of different things. First of all, we launched this product with an infomercial. We took the same video and we put it in the stores, and in conjunction with a beautiful POP, which most of you have probably seen, we've created a real point of destination in the stores. And since these play all day long, customers can come into the stores and get the same experience that they can get on TV. And it's part of this great Invented Here concept that Woody and David principally have been driving, which identifies all of our own products and makes them a lot more visible for customers and points out to them that you can only get them here at SHRP Image. Then, I know this is all going to crash to the floor. Then in June, remember it was the cover of our catalog, beautiful Invented Here artwork cover. And the following month, it was the opening spread. Shows how we were telling customers all through this time how much these products meant to us, so that they were always understanding what the focus of the company was. And then on the internet, in June, July, and August, it was always a feature on the opening screen. And then we added one more element to our internet strategy just recently, which we're calling targeted outbound emailing. For those customers who've bought from us before, we've identified a direct marketing strategy to go back to them and offer them interesting new things. So in the months of July and August, we gave them outbound offers. In July, let me just read that too, because we got some good copy here. In July, we said, we called it New and Cool, and said, can't live without air conditioning when the streets feel like an oven or your yard like a furnace. Don't you dread leaving the cool air-conditioned comfort of your home? SHRP Image Design's portable, wearable new invention lets you stay active or inactive in the heat and feel a whole lot cooler than anyone else around you. And then we came back with the next one and offered us an outstanding value about 4 weeks later. And Tony took care of this, and what he did was use editorial mention that we got in Time magazine by a writer named Michael Krantz. And he repeated that Michael said, "Fans and air conditioning work just fine on those sweltering weekend days when you can hibernate indoors. But eventually you need to venture outside. The personal cooling system may look like a whiplash collar, but it works. Just wrap it around your neck and let its aluminum plates cooled by water and the fan refresh you." And in this case, online shoppers got a special deal. They got 2 for $75. So even on the internet. Then we did something that we don't do every day. We reached out, or they reached out to us, some national publications where Sandy was able to help us get great rates. And we were in Newsweek magazine, someplace we very seldom find ourselves, with its 3 million circulation with an ad. Also in Discover magazine, very well targeted to our customers. We have a regular schedule of newspapers that you all know. So in this period of time, we were running in the Wall Street Journal, New York Times, and USA Today regularly with these ads. The personal cooling system was the most productive ad we were running through this whole season, not unexpectedly. And then we also added to this schedule local newspapers in all of our markets. So the stores could really see the impact of this on a regional basis. That added 21 million impressions to customers just in July alone. So our reach was so dramatically enhanced here beyond what we do in our regular catalog reach. We also did press releases, and they happen to be picked up all over the place. One example, when we send out press releases with photos, we also send out faxes. Just as things were really heating up, it was about the dog days of the summer, if any day was. Sandy arranged to have us fax to many of these markets. Again, another release on this. And the following day, we got dozens of phone calls from many of the media market publications, among them LA Times, which did a great feature story on us. The great thing about this is that obviously we didn't pay for this advertising. We paid a relatively small amount of money just to provide the publicity for it. But the writers thought this was a great innovative item, and they picked up on it, and we got carried every place. We also sent Lou Susi, who's here today, out on the road. And I'm going to show you a minute of Lou on the road.
So this is the number one. Put it in your hand, if you will, please.
All right.
About a half hour ago, I loaded these wings with water. There's a little fan driven by a AA battery in here. It doesn't gush you with air, but it does take evaporative cooling and bring the inside aluminum wings 20 degrees lower than the outside air. Now slip that, if you will, sir, around your neck.
Around your neck.
You're out in the garden.
Ooh.
You're out bicycling.
Oh, wow.
You're at a sporting event, an outdoors.
That's better than an ice pack.
Oh, isn't that nice? Though?
Oh, it's very cooling.
And it doesn't weigh very much, and it's resting in a place that'll absorb that weight.
And relaxing.
Called the personal cooling system.
Ah.
And of course down
You can
here,
use this for when things get hot in the newsroom.
you know, it's true though, anywhere that it's warm. I like the price of the fuel. Load it up with water again. The AA battery will last a long time.
We've only got 30 seconds.
Yay, Lou! Thanks, Lou. But largely because of the nature of this product, we got some unlikely requests for personal cooling systems. One case, Lily Mitsui, who's out in the field in corporate marketing, noticed that umpires at the Mariners game were wearing these, or at least one umpire, and some of the commentators talked about it a little bit. So we put Lou on the job here too, and he contacted the Umpires Association and got permission for these umpires to wear them while games are being telecast. And so we're sending them personal cooling systems too. So hopefully we'll see more of them on TV. Just because the product's so novel, this kind of thing comes to our attention. But I think that that sort of caps it off, the idea that you can get significant television coverage, which is something that our advertising dollars can't buy, through this combination of great product and all of these things that we've built around them. I have one last video for you, which I think is just great.
Channel 3 Eyewitness News.
And can you believe it, a portable air conditioner you wear around your neck? Paul Moriarty and pal go power walking to test the Sharper Image personal cooling system. So once again, we ask the question, can you believe it? There is a new product that you simply wear around your neck, and it keeps you cool and comfortable even in the hottest of weather. But does it work?
That is always the question. Our own Paul Moriarty takes the hike to test out the personal cooling system.
Oh, boy, is it hot. When it's really hot outside, it's time to head for the pool or stay close to the air conditioner. But how do you stay cool when you're outside walking and sweating in hot, sticky weather? Well, why not try the SHRP Image Personal Cooling System? The ad says it's a wearable air conditioner that lets you stay comfortable when walking, mowing, gardening. Wow, sounds amazing. Now, the personal cooling system is worn around your neck. It's kind of like the high-tech version of the old ice-soaked towel. And if it works, its $50 price tag just might be a bargain. Of course, the big question is...
Can you believe it?
Here goes. Well, to find out, I met up with Bob Rochester, who was standing by to put the personal cooling system to the test. So, Bob, you do a lot of walking?
Yes, indeed, I do.
And I guess it's no fun when it's hot out like this.
No fun at all.
Okay, well, if the personal cooling system works as advertised, you should be able to walk outside in the hot weather and still feel cool as a cucumber. So you want to give it a try?
Absolutely, let's do it.
So we opened the box, then read the directions. And all we have to do is place one AA battery right here like this, fill these 2 chambers with water, and voila, we're ready for action.
Here goes.
So Bob and I placed the personal cooling systems around our necks, then turned them on. Hey, I can hear a little fan inside this thing. How about you, Bob?
Yes, I can hear that, and my neck feels cooler, too.
Yeah, me too. But I'll tell you what, I thought we'd walk a good couple of miles and see if we're still cool by the end of the walk.
Sure, let's go.
And off we went, in 90-degree temperature, no less. How you doing so far?
Just fine right now.
2 blocks into our test, things were looking good, except we were a little hungry. Thanks a lot. So we grabbed a quick pretzel without even breaking stride. And on we went for a few more blocks, our personal cooling systems still keeping us comfortable. And then, lunchtime! A couple of cheesesteaks, a perfect entree if you're eating on the run. But let's get back to our test. After about 1.5 miles of walking in the noonday sun, how were our personal cooling systems working?
I feel comfortable.
Yeah, it's strange because I am sweating a little bit, but my neck feels so cool that I'm comfortable.
Well, then let's just keep going.
Okay. So we walked and walked and walked some more. And finally, dessert, a nice cool water ice. So, Bob, after all this walking on this really hot day, what do you think of the personal cooler system?
It works for me. I feel cool and comfortable.
Yeah, me too. So the personal air cooler was a big success, keeping us comfortable outdoors, even in the hottest weather. Of course, nothing actually beats the real thing.
For more information on the SHRP Image Personal Cooling System, here's the number to call, 1-800-344-4444. That's 1-800-344-4444.
Well, Davia, thank you. I think that's a great example. I wish we could have had them make our infomercial. You couldn't ask for better than that. What a great endorsement. I think that shows what happens when the entire company, the entire team gets behind a product and executes really well. And it was a lot of effort on a lot of people's part, the stores, the advertising group, our designers who came up with a great product. And we as a company who've sold almost 50,000 units, I think have shown that when we get a great product, we can really make the numbers happen. And I think you're going to see more of those type of home runs in the future. And that's going to come from a well-oiled machine. So thanks to everybody on that. Okay, Richard will address some questions. This is our time to address some of the questions that people send to us in the What's on Your Mind suggestion box or question box.
Here's a good one. We don't see Richard anymore. Is he okay? No. No. Seriously, I really am happy with the way things are being managed right now. It's sort of a strategy for change, which started about a year and a half ago when Barry Gilbert joined us. And the strategy is to let Barry exercise a better running of the company and let me spend most of my time on product development. And we have a SHRP Image Design office in Novato. And so I work up there 2 days a week, and then I putter around my home office and go through mail and talk to inventors on the phone. And the result of that is why we're introducing